here has heard or read or seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? That's what I figured. That was one of my favorite books and movies as a kid, and so when I saw C.S. Lewis on the list of authors, I was like, oh, gotta pick him, because he's just a really interesting author, and I thought The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was a really well done piece, and so I wanted to research the rest of what he's done. Why else did I pick C.S. Lewis is because he used a lot of inspiration from his early life. His childhood was kind of rough, and so I think it's really inspiring that he used that and turned it into something beautiful in his literature. And so I'll talk more about his background and why he had kind of a rough childhood. And also he introduced a lot of mystical elements to realistic fiction. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe has like a historical context along with his other writings, but he adds a lot of fun things like mystical creatures and characters that would never be alive in real life, but it really works together with this historical fiction as well. And also his writing is just really influential because there's so many religious themes and motifs that a lot of people don't realize when they first read his books, which I'll talk more about as well. So his early life is, he was born in Ireland on November 29, 1898. His CS stands for Clive Staples, but that obviously doesn't run very well, so C.S. Lewis just sounds better as an author. His parents were Albert J. and Florence, and they were highly educated individuals that loved literature and shared that love of literature with their children, so that was a huge influence to C.S. and his brother Warren as they were growing up. So C.S. wrote a lot of stories about mystical creatures, and the crazy settings that he writes in his adult novels is something that reflects what he did as a child as well. And his childhood really impacted him as an author. One of the most impactful things about his childhood was his struggle with finding his own sense of self in religion. His parents were super religious and went to church every Sunday and took their kids with them. However, he didn't really find that grounding with religion at all, so he became an atheist as a young adult. And later on, when his mother and father died, he went back to Christianity and found a home there. So he really struggled with religion and his sense of faith throughout his childhood. He then went on to serve in the military and then Oxford University, where he studied Greek and Latin literature, philosophy, English language, and literature. And then he joined a literary group called the Inklings in Magdalen College when he became a teaching professor there, and in 1925. And the different authors or influential people in that group were Lewis himself, Adam Fox, Hugo Dawson, Charles Williams, and J.R.R. Tolkien. Does anyone know who he is? Lord of the Rings fans, that is the author of Lord of the Rings. So wouldn't that be really influential if you were in a book club with essentially the author of the Lord of the Rings? That was a huge influence on him. And they had a lot of unique perspectives in this group. There were Protestants, Catholics, philosophers, and atheists alike all talking together about science and literature and different aspects. So that was definitely a huge influence on Lewis and his writing style. He incorporates this religious theme and motif in his writing. His early writings reflected his pessimism towards religion and how he was an atheist. And then as he converted back to Christianity, this kind of changed. So the first book I want to talk about is Out of the Silent Planet, which I found a quote that says, "It gives voice to Lewis's concerns about the secularization of society and affirms that a return to traditional religious belief is the only means of its salvation." That's from Shackle. And so this is basically a book that's talking about how he thinks the human race is going in a downward spiral if they don't return to those religious beliefs. So that was just something that he was always taught as a kid, and so that's what this book kind of construes as well. And the society and setting of this book is called Malacandra, and it's a pre-modern society where they want to colonize Malacandra to restart the human race, kind of start over. And it has a lot of religious aspects in this book as well. The god figure is Oisara, who sends his only son Maladil to Malacandra to rescue the human race. So that's obviously a direct parallel with the Christian belief that God sent his only son Jesus to save the human race. So it's definitely a religious parallel that he writes about. The second book, the classroom use for this book would be kind of difficult because it is so heavy in religion, but I said you could compare and contrast the colonization of Malacandra with the colonization of Mars, because in today's day and age we talk a lot about how Mars could be like the next frontier. I think it would be really interesting to get a child's perspective or a student's perspective on what the rules of society would be if we started over on Mars, and like what language we would use, what government we would have. That's kind of what this book is about, so that'd be interesting to get a student's perspective on as well. The next book I'll talk about is The Pilgrim's Progress, and this is a really complicated book as well. But another quote is, "It represents his own search for meaning and spiritual satisfaction." So this was early on in his career when he wasn't really sure about his religious beliefs, and so this book kind of mirrors that feeling as well of not knowing what to do. And his character is John, who goes on a journey to find an island but is captured by the spirit of age and tries to convince him that humans are without grace until they're accepted by God or they accept God as their Savior. So it's definitely a religious book as well, but it has a lot of, as you can see, there's a dragon on the front, so it's a really mystical book, and it definitely follows those characteristics of C.S. Lewis's writing. It's a complicated yet enjoyable book, so I think students would enjoy it if you kind of explained what was going on to them as you read it. Classroom uses for that. You could talk about nihilism, which is the rejection of moral principles. That's one of the main themes of the book. And that was something that was really common during World War II in the Nazi regime. So if you were teaching a history lesson about World War II, you could definitely read this book in language arts at the same time, and kids would be able to understand the parallels between the two. And lastly, my favorite one, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's a very old copy of the cover, but here I brought my own copy from home. I have the whole series and kind of a book series with that. And it's part of the Chronicles of Narnia, which we all have heard of, which is a magical place called Narnia where 4 kids have to save Narnia from the curse that the White Witch is put on. And so it talks about Aslan, I believe is how you say it. He's the big lion in the story, and he is a direct comparison to Jesus because he is the only savior that can save them from the White Witch's curse. And at the end of the book, which I'll read a little snippet of it. You can tell that he dies to save the people of Narnia. So it says, "At last she drew near. She stood by Aslan's head. Her face was working and twitching with passion, but his looked up at the sky, still quiet, neither angry nor afraid, but a little sad. Then just before she gave the blow, she stooped down and said in a quivering voice, 'And now who has won? Fool, did you think that by all this you would save the human traitor? Now I will kill you instead of him as our pact was, and so the deep magic will be appeased. But when you are dead, what will prevent me from killing him as well? And who will take him out of my hand then? Understand that you have given me Narnia forever, and you have lost your own life, and you have not saved his. In that knowledge, despair and die.'" So in this scene, Aslan is dying for the people of Narnia, trying to save them from the White Witch, and the witch is kind of saying that she could still destroy the earth, which is the same thing that happened with Jesus when he died for everyone's sins, according to Christian belief. And so that book obviously has a lot of parallels with religion as well. And I think classroom uses for that would be, you could read the book and watch the movie, which is one of my favorite things to do, and have kids compare what they read in the book and what happened in the movie. And also they could find religious aspects and evidences, because that's a skill that you need to find things in mainstream literature and mainstream media and compare that with religion or the historical